Hello everyone, I hope y'all are having a blessed day or blessed night, whatever time you're watching this video at. Today, I am doing a video that I think will be very helpful for those who are thinking of planning a trip to the Bahamas for vacation. So I'm going to list off some things that I think you should know before traveling to the Bahamas. You know, every country has different protocols and different regulations since COVID started, and the Bahamas definitely does have some. And so I just want to make it easy on your behalf instead of you having to go through our government websites or through, multiple different websites to figure out really what is happening and what the regulations are. I just thought I should make one little video that kind of pans out, gives you a general idea of what to expect when coming here. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have my notes written on my computer in the background, so that's what I'm going to be looking at while I'm filming this. But the first thing that you should know before coming to the Bahamas or while planning your trip is that in order to enter the country, you do need a PCR test at least 5 days before you arrive. So 5 days or less, pretty much. Once you get the results back from your PCR test, obviously if it's negative, then you have to also fill out a health visa form, which you can find on the government website. I'll put the link in the bio below. But pretty much what the form is just like asking you where you're going to be staying, how long you'll be staying, what airline you're flying, just so in case something does happen, it's easy to contact trace you. Also, another thing is that once you do reach the Bahamas and you've kind of settled in, if you're staying for more than 5 days, on the 5th day, you do need to take a rapid antigen test. We do have facilities that will do it for you. You just go. So yeah, that's the first, I guess, thing that I think people should know before coming to the Bahamas or planning a trip. The second thing that people need to know, and I think this is really important for people to know, we do have a curfew. Yes, you heard that right. We do have a curfew. Or let me say, most of the islands do have a curfew. So, on the islands of New Providence, mainland Abaco, mainland Exuma, Grand Bahama, and Eleuthera, there is a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. That means that you are not allowed to be outside of your house or wherever you're staying after 10 p.m. If you are found driving or anything, you will get fined. This also means that most places, restaurants, bars, are closed by 9 p.m. So yeah, that's important for people to know, because a lot of people kind of, they don't, in the US, y'all don't really have a curfew. So people think coming here, like, they'll be like more free, vacation mode, they could be out late. Unfortunately, that is not the case. The third thing that I think people should know, and it's kind of obvious, most places in the world are like are mandating this in the country, is that you do have to wear a mask everywhere you go. And it's not an option, it is actually a law here at the moment. Fourth tip is, and this, not tip, sorry, the fourth thing, and this mainly applies for most of the hotels in Nassau. I cannot speak on behalf of other hotels on the other islands. I only really know about the ones in Nassau. But most of the hotels in Nassau are doing sort of like a bubble format. So this means that pretty much the hotels are limiting their guests from leaving their property. Main reason why is because they don't want their guests to like bring infection in. So yeah, I don't want to say they're forcing you, because they're not forcing you against your will to stay on property, but they do make it very difficult for you to get off property. I know some hotels do this thing where if you leave the property, you're not allowed to come back on property unless you have a negative PCR test that you have to pay for yourself. Some hotels also make you quarantine as well. Some other hotels make you do rapid antigen tests every time you step on to, I guess, their premises. It really depends on the hotel, but I guess I would say if you are planning on staying at one of like the big hotels, definitely read the fine print, because what I've noticed is a lot of people don't read the fine print in their COVID protocols, and then they come to the hotel thinking they could go places, and then they realize that they're kind of stuck. Those are like the main 4 things that I have to say about what to expect if you're coming to vacation in the Bahamas. Um, it's still a beautiful place, you know. I definitely recommend coming here. What I would say, and this is kind of what I was saying earlier, like my advice and what I would do from a local's perspective is I would go to one of the outer islands. I'm not gonna lie. I always tell this to people even before like the pandemic happened. Travel to one of the outer islands or one of the keys. Reason why I say this is, one, you'll get a more authentic Bahamian experience by going there, and also, you know, you won't really feel the pandemic as much there. What I mean by that is, yes, it's still going on. That doesn't mean you get to ignore it and, you know, disobey the regulations. But, you know, some of the islands don't have curfew. So an example is, even though mainland Abaco has a curfew, if you go to one of the Abaco keys, such as Green Turtle Key, Hope Town, you know, there's no curfew there. Also, there's just less people on the out islands itself, and there's less cases. So right now the Bahamas is doing pretty good in terms of cases, but we do have a few hotspots, one of them being the capital city, New Providence, Nassau. So it's also just, you know, safer in general to go to one of the out islands. And another reason why I say go to the out islands is because there's definitely a lot more options of things to do, especially during the pandemic. You know, a lot of places are still closed in Nassau, whereas in the out islands, not as much stuff is closed. Also, most activities that you do in the out islands, or most places you go, are outdoors. You know, you have outdoor bars, outdoor restaurants, just kind of just the vibe that has always been. So, yeah, you just have a lot more freedom to do things than you would in Nassau, which is why I say if you are planning a trip to the Bahamas, you should go to one of the out islands. Now, this being said, this does not mean that you get to disobey the laws, you know. You still have to respect the people in the country and respect the laws put in place to protect their people from COVID. You know, just because you're on vacation doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. It's still out there. It's still dangerous. It's still a threat. So yeah, for those who are thinking about planning a trip to the Bahamas, if you have any more questions about anything about the Bahamas, traveling here, you know, you could personally message me, or you could just put them down in the comments below, and I will of course respond to you and give you the best answer possible. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if it was helpful. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. But for now, stay safe, and yeah, bye!